Right here is a 1967 Euclid R35. This is a 35-ton off-road truck that was first introduced by Euclid in 1965. Two versions of the R35 were produced by Euclid GM, a 74 TD and a 75 TD. Both trucks were exactly the same in their design and in appearance. The only difference was both trucks were powered by two different engines. And the reason why Euclid did this was to give its customers a choice of what powering system the customer would prefer to have installed in the truck. The 75 TD was Cummins powered, with an NTA 380 turbo diesel, which would put out 350 horsepower. What you're looking at right here is a 74 TD. This truck is GM powered. And the engine that was installed in the 74 TD was a GM 12V71N, which you can see right under the hood there. This is a two-cycle diesel engine that produces 394 horsepower for the truck. Here on the side you can see the big muffler. And back here you can see the pipe that pulls the exhaust from the muffler and then runs it up inside the dump box. Now the whole idea behind putting the exhaust through the dump box on one of these off-road trucks is to heat the dump body so that way when the truck is working in the wintertime, the material that is dropped inside the box won't stick to the metal. Mounted between the operator's cab and the dump box is the diesel fuel tank. And there's two caps on each end of the tank to fuel the tank from either side with diesel fuel. Here you can get a good view of the superstructure on the truck. And right here on the side of the superstructure is the machine's serial number and also the model type. You can see where it says a 74 TD. The R35s were set up with a 6-speed Allison CLBT 5860 power shift type transmission, which you can see right there. The R35 features independent front coil spring suspension for each tire. This exact same design was also incorporated on the larger R50, which was also introduced at the same time as the R35 in 1965. What it is the large spring that you see right here that connects from the superstructure down onto what's called the trailing arm. This gives the truck its suspension when it's driving. On each side of the front of the truck, you can see the round, circular headlights, a classic design on these older Euclids. And right here is the front guard to prevent any rocks or falling debris from falling back and harming the radiator, which is right behind it. Right here you can see the air cleaner and air intake on the R35, and the pipe that will pull the fresh cleaned air back into the GM engine. Under here you can get a view of the linkage that connects from your steering cylinders to your tie rods to turn both front tires left or right. Now let's go up inside the operator's cab and I'll show you the control setup. These two round tanks you see right here are the air tanks for the air brakes, and this tank you see is the hydraulic oil tank. Here's the inside of the cab on the R35. Okay, out in front here, this is the water temperature gauge, the amp meter, this is the oil pressure gauge, this is the air pressure gauge, clutch pressure, and the converter temperature. This is the trolley brake hand lever you see mounted on the tree of the steering wheel. Right here is the RPMs, tachometer, and here's the speedometer. Right here is the shifter for the transmission. This is in the neutral position, 6 forward speeds and a reverse. The box you see on the right hand side is for the batteries. And as you can see, just like with any of these older Euclids, the inside the cabs are not very well insulated. Because of this, the inside of the cab picks up a lot of noise and vibration from the engine, and also these cabs are extremely hot in the summertime. Now, another interesting fact about this truck, the R35 was the last of the TD models to be designed by Euclid GM. And overall, the R35 turned out to be a very popular seller from Euclid. But there she is, a 1967 Euclid R35 74 TD.